because I said it out loud. I believe we have Wavelength ready to go. I'm making vast assumptions.
Could you to have back?
Yeah, hang on. I have to get the mouse over there, and there's so many cables in the way, and I can't see the mouse, and everything's gone terrible.
Hello, welcome back. This is Wavelength.
Nice.
Ta-da.
Oh.
What to say of Wavelength? It's a party game and also a test to see if you are psychic and if your friends are truly your friends.
Oh, good. I'm glad we agreed to do this.
Yeah. Listen, it's any long car ride will bond a group, and so let's test that bond right now. The way that the game basically works is there's a deck of these cards, which maybe, no, I wonder if I can zoom in. But each card has a sort of continuum on it. Focus. From going leftwards and rightwards. Sort of a gamut. Right. So you have good and evil, all the cards are double-sided. Worst day of the year v best day of the year, for example. Now, zoom out. Focus. What do these cards have to do with anything? Well, this is the Wavelength board, which has the scoring wheel inside. I close this up, spin it, and show it to the one psychic player that has been designated for a team for that round. They will see something that looks like this. Could be anywhere. And they have to decide on basically a scale of 0 to 100 is kind of what I've put these pips here.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. You got 0, 25, 50, 75, 100, let's say.
Okay.
And they have to decide on a scale, like wherever this wedge is here, you want to describe to your team without them knowing where that wedge is in the zone, something that is about there on the scale of good to evil, say.
Oh.
And then you guess, you place it with this dungus. You're going to give me a number between 1 and 100 is how we're going to do that. And so what is, say, a not quite evil, not quite in the middle between good and evil, but something that is maybe 28% good. You'd say that. You'd say, a day-old everything bagel. It's pretty good. It's not the best. And the rest of the team deliberates. And they go, I think that everything bagels should be called everywhere bagels because they get shit everywhere. Sorry, they get bus everywhere. You guess, you deliberate, you lock in your answer.
Right.
You come to some consensus, and you flip the thing open. And wherever it's pointing, that's how many points you get.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
Does that make sense?
It does.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank God, because I don't know how else to explain it.
I think maybe we'll muddle through probably the first round, but I think we'll get the hang of it pretty quickly.
Think so. That's the Wavelength spirit.
How do you want to reveal to the psychic player where the dingle-dongle is?
If the psychic could DM me in Discord, I will cut away to me and send them a picture of the board. How about that?
That sounds great. Let's use our
Discord.
technology.
I will try
to set up
to
for
Discord.
this. I'm going to
Discord or
turn
the
on
Slack?
your entertainer controls, and you can pick sides as far as who's going to be on what
Is
team.
that better? Is that too much? It's too much.
Thank you. Molly, Discord or Slack?
Slack, please.
Okay.
Do we want to drop a person so we have even numbers for teams?
I see an even number currently.
Okay, so we just pretend Beach doesn't exist?
Well, we can either pretend Beach doesn't exist, or when he gets back, I'll just drive the bus, or maybe he can drive the bus, and then we don't have to have a person trying to concentrate on the bus and be psychic at the same time. That seems like a lot of psychic energy to throw around.
You guys are one camera, so you're one person?
Only in this context, yes. All other contexts, no.
Just for help setting this up, I've turned on your entertainer controls, so you can pick teams as you see fit.
Okay.
Yoo-hoo.
All right.
Okay. Does anyone want to swap teams, or are we all okay where we are?
I'm happy being over here.
I am fine with the fate that has been chosen to me.
Yeah.
Okay.
This is fine where we are.
Okay.
Engineering busted their humps to get you these interface controls, and you won't even use them. You're breaking their hearts, fam.
It's that Zeta vibe, you know. We're so chill and laid back that we can play with anyone.
Yeah.
What if there was some skullduggery element and you could trade teams? Oh, I see how it. And that's Wavelength. Congratulations to the winning team. You really did a great job. It was a really quick game. No, just kidding. Okay, so would the we can't really do a coin toss because none of us are in the same room. So I'm gonna say, ladies first. Team on the left of the screen, would you choose a psychic? And please, would that
Boomer.
psychic DM me?
Okay.
Yeah. Boomer.
DM you on Discord, you said?
On a Slack, please.
Slack. That's much easier to find
Hold
you.
it.
Hey, Molly.
Just a moment.
Hey. I figured out I have wipes. It's very exciting.
Oh, I'm jealous. I have a fade.
Man, I could go for a wipe right now.
And then get faded?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So, team, do you have team names? I should have. Where are my manners?
Oh.
Oh. Right.
Oh, goodness.
Team Hair Dye.
Yeah.
Team
Yeah.
Hair Dye.
Yeah.
Okay,
Sorry,
so
Matthews.
your
Hurt.
category is going to be trashy v classy.
Trashy be classy.
Hmm.
Sorry, what's the other team name? Who are our opponents?
Best judge of trash.
Team Hair Dye versus Team
Cams.
Cams. Cams apostrophe S or plural cam?
Cams apostrophe S.
Oh, there we go. Yeah, I was thinking comms and cam.
Mm.
Mm-hmm.
You have to say the apostrophe S, though.
Yes, like it would be Cams. The team name is Cams apostrophe S.
Yes. It's hyphenated.
Mhm.
Okay, Boomer, you should have the position of the dial in your DMs.
Okay, Boomer.
Hopefully I didn't post it to the channel.
Okay. Cool.
Okay.
Corey and I would never look. It's okay.
Mm-hmm.
So one more thing. It is
Yes.
my understanding that the other team gets to guess above or under ours.
Yes, thank you. That's once a team, whoever's going, locks in their choice, then the other team gets to bet, is it basically left or righter of where the team put it in. And I think they get a point for guessing correctly, as I recall.
Okay.
Okay, so I'm to indicate to you, I assume in the DMs, a number between 1 and 100. Is it?
No. Oh, so you indicate to your team something that can be described, some mix of trashy and classy.
And then they use the 1 to 100. That's where that goes.
Yeah.
Okay. So
Yeah,
I have
they
to
use
pick
the 100.
thing that is the
You
range.
pick the thing to communicate to them. They communicate to me just so I can move this dial around on y'all's behalf.
Thing between classy and trashy.
Thank you for that scoreboard engineering.
Thank you. Yes.
I'm gonna say macaroni and cheese with like garlic powder and like some nice spicing in it.
Oh.
Oh.
Oh, speaking right.
So it's
speaking
mac
our
and
language.
cheese. So that's low classy, but you got the classy things in it.
Yeah, it's got some additional things. I mean, that in itself is at least takes you out of the trashy phase, really.
I'm feeling like a straight 50% here.
Okay. Let's move it there. Heather, what do you say?
I think it's closer to 60.
You think it's up higher?
I think it's just a little over. Like it would be different if it was just like one ingredient, but there were a couple in there.
Yeah.
Now, there are kind of little clicks. Let me know how many clicks to the left or right. Sort of seconds on the clock.
A couple more over to the right.
A couple more towards classy.
Yeah.
Tick. There. Tick.
Yeah, I think there.
There. Okay.
Okay.
Corey and Heather, have you locked that in?
Yeah.
Team cams, over or under?
I say they're way too high.
I agree.
Yeah.
I feel this is around like a 40. That's
somewhere
me
between,
though.
Yeah, somewhere between 30 and 40 is my guess.
So just to the left then, we're under.
You're on the trashy. You're on the trashy side.
Yeah, we want to be in the trash sphere.
You put us in the trash zone.
Okay. Well then, if that's everybody's response locked in, what happens if the other team? No, it doesn't matter. I think when we say over under, do we mean outside of the pie or outside of the 4, Corey, as you recall? Because there's the wedge of 4, 3, 2 on either side.
Yeah. I think they just get like a point if they're accurate.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Okay. Well then, let's pop it off. 3, 2, 1, boom. Beautifully done.
Told you. Told you.
Beautifully done, Team Hair. So that's how Wavelength is played.
4 points!
That is a soul read.
Boomer and I know. We got it.
That is a strong start from Team Hair.
That's like there was the Newlyweds game clip that went around where they were both wrong, but they were the same wrong.
Yeah, which kind of it's a double negative. It cancels out.
Yeah. And it
I
was
wasn't
like
necessarily going for a truth. I was going for what I figured Heather and Corey would know about me.
Yeah.
yeah.
That's where you should go. That's the
exactly
whole point, right?
That's Wavelength, baby.
I feel like we should just retire champion. Like, end the game now.
You just got to do that 2 more times and the game is over. I believe in you.
Wow. We can do that.
But first,
Damn.
we haven't tested the metal of Team Cams.
Oh no.
Okay.
So, Team Cams, would you like to designate a psychic? Or would you like Peach? Okay.
Peach.
I shall do my best.
Okay. Peach, your category will be smelly in a bad way or smelly in a good way.
Oh dear.
Okay. I'm gonna send
This
you.
can go places.
Yeah.
This
And
is like the my cab driver smells like fried chicken.
But the cab has been recently puked in.
Molly, do I remember correctly that the descriptions given need to be pretty short?
Yeah, and you can't quite elaborate. It's not encouraged for you to like elaborate on your point. You should kind of remain silent while your team is deliberating. I don't know if that's codified in the rules or if that's just an etiquette thing. But really, it should be like a single short idea. So like Boomer described an entree, basically, and not going to a restaurant and having an experience and ordering the thing. It was sort of a single expression. Does that make sense?
Like your cab driver smells like a chicken.
But yeah, it should be not a full sentence, just sort of the subject of a sentence, maybe.
Okay.
Peach, did you get the picture of the dial?
I did, and I'm trying to get it away from food, but I can't. So we're gonna go with toast that is just a little burned.
Well, sign of a
that's
stroke and
Smelly in a bad way, that way, and smelly in a good way, that way.
I want to say like around 45%. Like you were all amped for toast, and it's still edible, but like that burnt smell takes over quickly.
well, maybe around, because I was thinking like pretty much in the middle, split difference like a 45
Yeah, okay.
ish.
Okay.
45-ish. So if that's 50, kind of click it back to about there. Is that what you're hoping?
Yeah. Yeah, that seems about right to me.
Yeah, because it's still toast and it's still
Yeah. But maybe we're on the wrong side.
This is smelling in a bad.
Smelling it bad, yeah.
Smelling in a bad's that way.
Just a little burnt.
just a
little
little.
burnt.
He did specify that it was only a little burnt. And
Let's go
you-
to like, what do you think about 55?
I like a 55. I like
Okay.
a 55.
Still hot bread.
Yeah.
All
And
right.
like
More
you put
good
enough
than
butter
bad.
on it, it'll be okay.
Yeah. It's time for carb.
Yeah. Okay.
So you're locking in more good than bad.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm comfortable with that.
Team hair, over or under? More good or more bad?
Over. More good. I think it's
More
like
good?
just
Yeah.
shy of perfect.
Yeah.
I
I'm with
mean,
Corey.
I think it's probably not that close to perfect, but I do still think it's over. I think they're underguessing. I mean, not that we have to refine our guess that much. I
No.
support the vote of over.
But it's a bigger dunk if we're close.
Yeah.
Okay, so we all agree that slightly burnt toast is more good than it is bad, but how good is it? Let's find out in 3, 2, 1. Dink. More good.
You were correct.
It's one of my food crimes.
It's so good.
And I
See,
was
that's
thinking,
what I was figuring.
yeah, and smelly in a bad way is like gasoline, or like your stove is still on, I would think.
Gasoline, lovely.
Oh, here we
Yeah,
go.
gasoline is
Smell of
lovely.
gasoline
Yeah,
is good.
there's all kinds of, there's mixed smelly. So that's 1 point
The
for
smell
team
of-
hair.
Gasoline doesn't even have a smell. We added something to it to make it smell bad.
That's true.
We engineered
did
it
you
to
do
smell bad.
How many points until game is called?
The board goes up to 10. We can, if we have business we have to attend to, we can
Oh no,
cut it
I was
off after this
I
next
was just
round.
curious, like how good we needed to be to just stomp them. I guess.
Yeah, like there's,
Heather is showboating.
you can't get one 6-point round, I'll tell you that, but you could,
All right.
in the next round and then one, you could certainly run a lap. So, Team Hair, who would you like to designate as your psychic for this round?
I guess I'll go.
Yeah. Of course.
Okay. And your name again was, sorry, okay.
Coriander Dickinson.
Oh, okay.
I still firmly remember from last year, the first interaction I ever had with you, Corey, was that I was pretending to be Andrew and running the show. And you came out and sat on the couch and somebody was like, "Oh, let's introduce the new people." And I just turned and looked at you and was like, "Yes, because I, Andrew, absolutely know who you are."
Yep.
Okay. Close that up. Corey, did you get my
Did
message?
I get? I got a shrug emoji. Oh no, it's
There
loaded.
you are.
Okay.
Okay. Board's closed back up. Team Hair, your category is going to be round animal or pointy animal.
Ooh.
Okay.
Oh, there's a lot of animals in the world.
Of many shapes.
There's at least 12.
Penguin.
A penguin?
Penguin. It's mostly rounded edges, but pointy beak.
I'm thinking this is a fairly middle, but to the rounder side.
Yeah.
It's just a matter of how far to the rounder side a penguin falls. Because, like, it's definitely not like a capybara or like a chinchilla that's like very round.
No.
But it's mostly round.
It's not incredibly pointy most of the time.
Yeah, it's got some angles and it's got like a couple pointy bits, but I wouldn't describe it as a pointy animal. So I'm gonna guess like a 7.
Well, round's on the left side, so we're gonna
Yeah.
want to go lower.
I was gonna say 75. I'm gonna guess like a 25.
Okay, I'm going to put it at 25. How does that look to you?
It's Corey. It's round. Penguin. Yeah, I'm gonna concur.
Right there at 25 locked in?
Mhm.
Okay. Team Cams, over or under?
I think they're way too round on their guess here. A
So you
penguin
think-
is like,
Towards the pointy side.
yeah, like when they swim, they're very like needle-like.
Ovoid.
Yeah. I mean, they're definitely like rounded, but they're a ballistically shaped animal.
And they've got the horrific mouths.
Yeah. Like, if you wanted to have like a perfectly round bird, you would go with a kinglet, right? But like,
Or
I
an
mean-
ortolan.
yeah, but like, a penguin is kind of vase-shaped,
Yeah,
torpedo-like.
I would say definitely more towards the pointy. Maybe not incredibly so, but more towards the pointy.
Mm-hmm.
I agree. Yeah.
Yeah. I want to say like 45.
Yeah.
And you don't
Around
have to
there.
guess a specific coordinate. You can just
Yeah, they're
guess their inaccuracy.
yes, they are too soft
Us
or
the
too
penguin?
round. Excuse me.
Heard that one before.
Oh, okay. Hopefully. I just noticed the little grid wheel kind of shimmies a bit when I touch it, so I won't touch this too much.
I have photographic evidence of where it was.
Okay, great. I do too. Let's see those orbs. Okay.
Whoa!
Pretty good.
So I think that Team Cam still gets a point because they were just off the center. Yeah. So that's 3 points to Team Hair and 1 point to Team Cams.
I still feel pretty good about that.
Yeah, I
Nicely done.
think we're definitely enough in the vicinity that I'm happy with that.
But it's certainly true that a penguin does taper to a point.
Yes.
Team Cams, who is your next psychic?
Matthews.
Okay.
Oh, I had a
Cam, do you just really not want to be psychic?
I am terrified of the idea that people could read my mind.
just best not to test it.
Yep. We made a sketch years ago where Kathleen, like we're playing a game of Magic and Kathleen thought seizes me. Only does it in real life and has to go through my mind looking for things and says that it's just Warhammer lore and popping videos.
Accurate.
I'm like, well, you got to take something. Sorry.
Whereas we did a sketch with me where I was a reverse psychic and made my nose bleed trying to read someone's mind.
Yes, that was me that you tried to read.
Check in. Check in.
Matthews, could you DM? I could find you. I know where to find you. There's only one Matthews. Thank you.
You're welcome.
You're on a keyboard, so you have the advantage. Okay. And I'm terrified of sending this to the channel on accident. Okay, Team Cams.
Mm-hmm.
While your Psychic Matthews is thinking about that, your category is Star Wars versus Star Trek.
Wow.
Oh, Matthews. Ooh.
Okay. Okay. Okay.
I believe in you, Matthews.
Hmm.
If it's really stumping you, I can flip it over, but I don't know what's on the other
Ooh.
side of this card.
No, aliens where the makeup boils down to forehead bumps.
Those are like the classic Star Trek.
Yeah, clearly
Right? Like,
75% toward Star Trek.
I want to say like 100%. I'm trying to think of any Star Wars aliens that are just like crinkly foreheaded. And like, none spring immediately to mind.
Yeah, if it was like vaguely humanoid, you got like your Twi'leks and your Rhodians and things like that. But if it's just forehead application, the issue with going like 100 is that we just give Team Hair Dye, oh, we go to the left and they get a point regardless.
Yeah.
I'd like to bid 1, please.
Yeah, because there's like, I mean, like, there are the Zabrak. You know, the Darth Maul dudes with the little horns.
Oh, yeah.
I guess that's kind of like a forehead thing.
I'm solid for 75 unless you got a...
Yeah, I think like a 75 here would be good.
Okay. 75. Is that looking okay?
Mm-hmm.
You want to lock that in?
I think we do.
Okay, Team Hair, over or under? More wars or more Trek?
So for general my knowledge of the two properties, I would absolutely have said just that is completely Star Trek. But considering that when the rest of the team stated that opinion, Matthews kind of didn't have the greatest poker face and sort of seemed like that wasn't completely what he was going for. I think we actually got to think about this one a little.
I think maybe under.
When they were saying that, they were basically like, "Oh, we're all in 100%," and so I think they're either going to be really close or like really off.
Yeah,
I would have said 75 here, so I think they're close.
my temptation is to say over, not by
Over
much.
meaning more Trek?
Yeah. Just a little more Trek, but I'm not sold on that. So if either of you have strong feelings.
Yeah, over.
Yeah, let's aim over. Let's go with their reasonings.
Okay. Let's see that big board.
Oh! It was closer to 50. Oh,
That is right on the line of 2. I'm willing to give that to Team Cams.
Nice,
It's
positive
2 points.
All right.
Yeah, because Darth Maul was the switch for me. Of like, oh yeah, there are bumpy forehead people in Star Wars.
Mm-hmm.
That was a very tricky category, Matthews. I am proud of you.
Yeah, that was rough.
There's actually a separate deck that I haven't even opened. That's what took me so long to set up, of advanced, like, I know my friends very well kind of questions. The first one is underrated game to overrated game, and that seemed maybe too contentious to dip into, so we'll stick with the friendship cards for now. Shall we one more round? If Hair takes this, they could take it.
Yeah, we gotta see what
Absolutely.
Heather's bringing to the team. You know.
You could put us into the shame zone for the baseball fans.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't want to necessarily leave you guys shamed. I want to win enough that everybody knows it wasn't close, but I want there to be some dignity left for you.
You don't have to be shamed. Cinders don't have to feel shame.
Wow. That burn. So, am I the one going this time?
I'm gonna DM you a picture of what the board looks like
Yep.
now.
You
Oh, and
gotta
I should
drag.
pick,
will
there should be a
drag.
category. Okay.
I have begun driving. Boop, boop, boop,
Just send the whole channel.
boop.
Heather, could you? I'm on my phone. Would you DM me, please?
Yeah, I can do that.
Boop, boop,
Why is it-
boop, boop, boop.
Please, Slack.
Hey, that's loud in my ears. Do not. I will mute you so hard into the sun.
How do you mute them in real life?
Okay, there you go. Take
There, I've
out.
sent you a DM. Perfect.
to the ball game.
I should be unmuted now.
You sure are.
Okay. I didn't realize I was.
Oh.
Okay.
Okay.
Team Hair, your category is. Oh, whoops. Sorry. Yeah, your category is bad superpower, good superpower, bad going this way, good going this way.
All right, so, Quilt Man.
It's pretty good. It's pretty good to be a quilt. Or to have a quilt whenever you want.
Or does he have the capacity to quilt things? Which, like, sounds a bit farcical, but depending on how much you power that up, that's the ability to combine things into one. Because that's
So I'm
all
thinking-
a quilt is multiple layers combined into one.
Above around 60. Like, it's not an amazing power.
Yeah,
Maybe more 75. Oh.
You probably know more about Heather's familiarity with quilts than I do, because, like, I would say that a random stranger on the internet saying a superpower of Quilt Man is probably trying to pick something ridiculously weak, but, like, personally, quilting is that's hard and, like, really cool and interesting, so, like,
It's like,
I don't know where
how do
Heather
you like
falls
to be
off.
comfortable?
I mean, in a cold room buried under a ton of blankets.
So, like, it's not, you're not necessarily, like, stopping crimes, doing superhero stuff,
Yeah.
but you're comfortable. So,
Yeah, I would say I'm pretty comfortable with like 55 to 60 on this.
all right, 60.
I'm gonna say that's 50. 60 would be
Yeah, about there.
about there.
Yeah, that looks good.
Okay, Cams, over or under?
I would argue that they're underestimating Heather's affinity for quilts. Because, like, Quilt Man, I'm not seeing a downside to it at any point, right? This isn't like telepathy, where you walk past a bathroom and you're like, oh no, right? Like, I don't see a downside to Quilt Man. But like it's not flight, right?
Yeah, it's not. I don't think like 100%, but I do think that I mean, it's pretty solid. Whether it be you can just create quilts and be warm or make things into quilts.
Yeah.
Like what I'm getting from Quilt Man is your superpower is that you are always comfy.
I was taking this as like a Heather gets bitten by a radioactive quilt or rolls around in some quilt material and gains these powers, how amped they would be to have it. And I think it's higher than this.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I think they've underestimated it.
Yeah. I agree.
So you think more on the good side?
Yes.
That Quilt Man is a better superpower than has been given credit for.
The power of Huga.
Is a duvet a quilt?
I mean, not in a technical sense, but in the colloquial sense, I think it is.
Yeah, it's quilted.
Depends on what you're using quilt to mean. Yeah.
Right,
If you mean quilt as bedspread, then yes.
It also depends on what superpower means in this context.
I imagine it means a quilted bedspread.
Right. Just as a cape. It's very heavy, so their delts are very strong. Okay. In 3, 2, reveal. Oh.
It's terrible.
So we were all way more enthused about quilts than you.
What?
I didn't
What's-
anticipate that
Heather,
you
what did
would
a quilt
all,
do to you?
that you would all think that this would be like my superpower. I was trying to think of there's a Batman villain. I thought it was Quiltman, but maybe I got the name wrong. But it was like a quilt power, and that seemed really kind of. That villain did not seem good. So I was like, okay, well maybe one of them knows.
But
that
I wouldn't
one.
do crimes if I had quilt powers.
Like, this
So-
doesn't seem like a Quilt Man orientate. This is more like a stained mattress man.
This is guy with telekinetic control over milk.
Yeah. So
I mean, lactomancy can get you pretty far.
if I was thinking of the fact that you would probably think that I would take on this superpower, then I might have chosen a much different answer.
But were you thinking in terms of like crime fighting efficacy for Quilt Man?
He seems on par with like Condiments Man, and I'm like, yeah, those are superheroes you don't really see brought back into Batman for a reason. They're kind of very, Time King doesn't come up that often.
Clock King,
Clock King,
Killer Croc,
well,
Crazy
no,
Yeah,
Quilt.
no,
Killer
if you had
Croc
said
comes up
Condiment
more
Man,
often.
I would have known you were referring to a real super-powered person.
It's just-
Fail
Because Condiment
Bongwater
Man is
Man.
so much more reasonable of a touchstone than Quilt Man.
I would have.
Condiment
flame.
Man, Condiment
Condiment
Man.
King. Sorry, like I sometimes browse wikis. That's it. I don't retain the information that great.
I would have picked flight, but constant dry heaving.
But you still fight. Like,
Yeah, but you will
needed to go-
stop
needed to
flying
go- You
at
needed
a
to go all the way to the other side, and almost everybody who does one of these questions is like, "Well, that's still pretty good." So I guess
No, it
on
isn't.
one side of 50, and I'm like, "Oh no, I have to go all really hard on this side."
When you're dry heaving, you just stop thinking about what's happening, and you'll just fly into the side of a tree.
But you need them to think that,
Yeah.
and I don't think they would.
It's like, just imagine a scenario where you're flying and dry heaving. I'm like, no.
Right. Don't want to do it. Would never want to do that.
I've had that experience, and it's not good. I was on a very small plane, and I could see out the pilot's window, and the world was doing. And you look out your window,
Oh.
and the world is kind of like, it's out there abiding, and the pilots are like,
You know that thing where they're like circling for landing at an airport? They're like just waiting in a holding pattern, and then
Yeah.
they're like the steep turn. That gets me every time.
Oh yeah.
Do you want this back? Or?
Maybe.
You can keep. You can,
Is there
you can-
anything? Is there anything that happens when the bus actually makes it to the
Yes,
other end? Like, do you have to do something specific, or?
you hit a button.
Yeah, we'll hit the button to say we did it. We got it.
Oh yeah, we're coming up on the destination, huh?
God willing.
We're supposed to hit it around 5:30.
That's so cool.
Is what I was told. I can take it back
If you would like to. Here
That
is
would
yours.
make everyone but Dawn Guard
Yes.
point havers.
Yep.
And it would eat at James until they got a point.
I'm good with
How
that.
can they get a point if they keep stealing your bus and crashing it?
I'm not sure they. Well, anyway,
That's a
let's
good
have one
point.
more question. We're gonna have one more
I guess
question and
it's,
move on.
I guess it's my turn, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yes,
We'll
it
make
is.
this. We'll make this the last question then.
Okay.
Should be in your inbox.
It is. Okay.
Okay. So Team Cams, while he's thinking, your category is useless in an emergency or useful in an emergency.
That's a good category.
You can't just pick yourself.
Ultimate friendship test yourself as the answer to all of these questions.
And remember, a short single idea.
Maybe not one word like I did, though.
Painted a whole word picture, though.
A Bic lighter that just has a little bit of butane left in it. Just, you need the flint is pretty sketchy.
Oh,
A sketchy Bic lighter.
Yeah.
okay.
Like a Bic lighter you found in the pocket of a dude named Dwayne.
And about how much, if you had to percentage, how much...
That you can't ask follow-up questions, Peach. I'm so sorry.
Look, we got Bic lighter from the pocket of a guy named Dwayne. If that doesn't tell you exactly everything you need to know about that lighter.
I just wanted to do that line. I'm sorry.
Yeah, no.
Well, there was
As
no
soon as I said it,
elaborating?
I was like,
Yeah, you can't elaborate. You can't. You have to just drop a truth bomb on him and walk away.
30-ish%, Matthews?
I was gonna go 25-30.
Okay. Split
Dwayne
it.
probably picked that lighter up from the porch of somebody that he didn't really know, that he was just at their party.
Yeah. You're in the dark and you're fumbling through your pockets and you're like, I guess this works.
This is fine.
Yeah.
25, 30. Where kind of in the continuum?
Right about. Oh.
Right.
Yeah,
Give me like a number. There's a bit of a lag.
Okay. I'd say just like a tick. Yeah.
A tick. There's like if there's like seconds on the clock. How many seconds to the left or right?
2 seconds to the left. What do you think, Paige?
Yeah, that's good with me.
Right
Okay.
there. Okay, excellent. Team hair, over or under?
I think fire is generally really useful. Like, we don't know what the
But
emergency
only-
is, but you
only
only
if-
really need it to work once.
But only if you can get it to work. And if you're constantly trying to get it to go and it's not taking, like, this could be a really bad lighter.
Well, also, I mean, it depends on the kind of emergency, though, because fire is useful if the emergency is I am trapped in the wilderness.
Fire
But,
is not
yeah.
useful if something's
If
on
the
fire.
emergency is I have witnessed a person have an accident and they now need medical attention, it will only make things worse if Dwayne pulls out his lighter.
Yeah.
So,
But
like,
I get the feeling that Cam's idea of useful was more about whether or not this lighter actually might work, rather than what emergency would surround it.
I'm just thinking of being at a convention and complaining to Carrie that I'm bored because there's no fires for me to put out, and her offering to go light fires for me.
Good friend.
Good friend.
Yes, she's a great friend, but I'll yield to your judgment that Cam thinks fire is beneficial in an emergency.
Like, I'm willing to call this 50% useful. Like, it's a sketchy lighter. It might be half functional, more or
think
less.
it's lower.
Yeah.
I really don't think this has anything to do with fire, but so much as the lighter can produce the fire.
The team seems divided. So are you going over or under? More or less useful?
This is more useful than your favorite rock
I was
in
going
a
to say,
majority
this is
of
not a rock.
emergencies. So as far as completely useless, it's definitely not that. It is an item with a function. It is not very good at fulfilling its function. So I think I want to say the correct answer is over. Like, not very much over, but over.
Okay,
Alright.
well, we're dropping frames, so let's open this
Yeah.
before the stream goes down. All right, and boom. Okay, that is within the 4. Oh no, I think did we go?
We've
we
we've
didn't-
frozen the frame.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
So nobody
Okay,
knows what the
I'll close
answer
it.
We
is.
can't. No.
Hey! Yeah, it's right on. It's inside the 4,
Oh.
right on the border.
So we were correct.
So that's a great place to call this round of Wavelength. Excellent job,
Hell yeah.
teams.
And a
Hooray!
tie.
Everyone
all
tied.
psychic.
Everyone is still friends. Just in time for 5:30 in the morning.
Woohoo!
Oh, the police are here. Okay. Yes.
Yeah. Well.
Don't dox us. Don't give away our location. We're at the moon base.
Ooh. All right.
Thank you, Molly,
Nicely
for
done,
Yeah, thank
providing
you.
that.
That was a blast.
Yeah, that was
I
fun.
just got that out of the plastic. Thank you for inaugurating my Wavelength set.
Yeah, and now you can write it off as a business.
Yeah.
expense.